use has some really nice benefits. Now, this clinical integration, this exchange compatibility, all of these are required features that we have to certify. Believe me, it took us almost like a year. And I was a lot taller when I started this process. They just beat me. Right, so, that's pretty much how this works. Okay, so all of these things, you got to make sure that you have the capability. Now, of course, when you get a certified EMR, you have capability. Okay, so that's the the core point, I guess. Just make sure you're getting a certified EMR that's easy to use, and make sure you're meeting meaningful use by September 30th. Okay, which means like you want to start a lot earlier than that. Okay. And if you look at this, there's a few things over here. As far as like there's a link where you can go and look at the incentive program and register it. It's like the EHR incentives.cms.gov. Okay, and just to keep in mind, we do have the benefit this year of the 18,000. That's not going to go away. We know that, and that's by attestation. Next year it will be by verification, and the following year, probably the Republicans will be in power, so we don't know what's going to happen. But that's where we are at this time. This is also to some extent somewhat changing, because all their procedures and processes, we're finding out. Like suddenly they'll tell us, now you got to do this. Like this whole how to register packet. We haven't gotten it yet. We expect to get it probably beginning of next week. So if you guys want to call me or email me or whatever, I'd be happy to mail you the packet so you'll know the specific steps that you have to do to complete that. And the specific website, click here, do that, kind of thing. All right, and actually I should give you guys a copy so you can hand up to all the members. So that's where things are at the moment. Any questions about this meaningful use?
A question, Naveen, as far as the percentage of people that get sort of rejected with their attestations, is it 100% acceptance by the government, or there?
We haven't seen any yet. I mean, it's just realistically starting. I mean, just to give you an idea, if you go to the CMS website where this registration is supposed to occur, we certified a month and a half ago, and our current information is not even on there yet. I mean, we are dealing with the CMS, so hopefully they'll get caught up with all that stuff. Okay, so once they get caught up, then you go through the certification process, and then we'll find out. I mean, people are barely starting to do this now, because the information wasn't even very clear until very recently. So once they go through this, we'll have a pretty good idea of what it's looking like. Medicaid has apparently paid some money out already. Shocking. Yeah. Medicaid paid money. I mean, I know you said two things in a sentence before.
Naveen, so is everyone here a cloud member of Sushoo, or?
Yeah, everybody. You guys all do your login into Sushoo for the authorizations and all that stuff. Right? Yeah, so basically, as the membership grows in Sushoo, what you're also going to see is like you'll be able to communicate with more people effectively, whether or not you have an EMR, because this is independent of the EMR itself. But if you have an integrated EMR, then you can communicate through the EMR, makes it a lot easier. Okay, but the idea is like when you're sending a referral or an order, then you can get the results back through there. You can see, did they open the order, did they see it? Is it still, I mean, I'm sure you already see that with Meg. When you send an authorization request, you can see, okay, is it viewed, is it not viewed, all of that stuff. So the same thing you have for orders and referrals. And the idea here is like with clinical integration, you're looking at building a consolidated view for the patient. So if there's any question, did they already have an MRI, you don't have to redo it because it's going to be there. You know what I mean? So as long as they give you the authorization to see it, you'll immediately see it. So it makes life a lot easier. It makes communications with the network members a lot faster. And it's the way of the future. I mean, I remember last year we were going to take a photo for marketing saying like, this is how much paper you can save.
Well, holds everyone accountable also on both sides.
Absolutely.
If you fax someone something, you might get the thing saying, yeah, I went through, but then 3 days later, it's like, why didn't you see my writing? And it's like, oh, we never got that referral. This, I mean, it actually shows, it makes everyone accountable on both sides.
How many providers do you have on Sushoo now?
In this area, I think it's close to 300.
Yeah, wow.
But we're also, and a lot of the ancillary services are joining up too, because obviously it makes life a lot easier for everybody to communicate directly instead of just faxing things back and forth, phone calls. I used to like my cell phone until I suddenly one day discovered texting. It's like, no, don't leave me a message, just text me. I'll just text you back.
Why do you have to fax if you?
Because we have a lot of healthies and Medicaid patients.
Okay, so you
I
have
have
to
to
Medicaid.
fill out the forms and fax it and get a response. A lot of times.
And do you have, well, I don't know, because we're on the exchange, so I never played with the cloud. So I'm not real familiar on what you can do with the cloud and what you can't do. But when we were on the exchange, those forms can be put in there and they like automatically or almost completely filled out except for the,
Medicaid, keep in Medicaid. I love Sushoo.
yeah.
Everybody has to. That is, they just need more.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen more and more as we get closer and closer to more fully, what do you call it, like the electronic world, I guess. So it's getting there, and realistically, you can scan the form and add it in instead of faxing it.
It's like an overlay. It looks exactly like it.
Yeah, I mean, you can just fill it out and scan it in if you want. I mean, you don't even need an overlay, you just scan it in. And then
Well, not for, if you're talking about getting authorizations
Yeah.
for Medicaid, yeah, not,
Oh,
because
oh,
BPN doesn't
oh, okay,
process the authorizations for Medicaid.
got it.
Yeah, we have a lot of that. We can now.
What's the average time for getting like DP installed, would you say, on average, in a typical office?
I mean, he's asking about the EMR side. It's probably about 10 days, 10 to 15 days, including training.
Could you repeat your question?
Just an average, a typical practice, what would the average time be to install Doctor's Partner and get it up and running?
Yeah, typically if it's a hosted install, it's 10 to 15 days. If it's a local install, it takes longer. By the way, I don't know if you guys met Giles. He's from Space Coast magazine. So he's the man.
Yeah, smile, you're on camera, you're on candid camera.
And it looks like he's holding a cigarette packet, but apparently he's taking videos. Do you smoke?
No.
No, that was for meaningful use.
Very good. You got me.